Anyway, it's 12 degrees, it's 6:40. God, I better get going. Nearly 10 to 8. 10 to 7. Anyway. Anyway, and welcome to the channel. Joggy, joggy, jog, jog. Is that a camera? Hello and welcome. Welcome, welcome. 6:51. Really aim to get to Cumbernauld for 7. Fanning around as usual. The usual fanning around. Fanning around, fanning around, fanning around. What we're going to talk about, right? Okay, yeah, we've been watching Alexander Grace. It's a lot of the stuff about how to deal with women is relevant whether you're a man or a woman, I think. It could be that you're in business and you need to deal with women customers. But generally, Alexander Grace, the videos are sort of on a dating type thing. So one sort of fundamental obvious thing is that you shouldn't argue with women, which you shouldn't argue with men either. You know, so there's examples sort of how, well, you'll never win, you won't win. So it's like, you know, it's pointless. If people are like that, and a lot of women are like that, then you're not going to get anywhere, so you might as well just shut it. So what he's saying was your actions are more important than words. So, you know, one domain where women do argue quite a bit, I've noticed, is driving in cars, about fault. Whose fault was it? And they'll be really brilliant at deflecting and actually not taking the blame, and you see that quite a lot when accidents and things happen. But because they don't give a lot of them don't give a fuck about driving, really. It's just a means to get shopping and stuff, or their personal autonomy to get around and the freedom. So the other person, so it's Alexander Gray. So he's good. He's quite a big channel, yeah. I mean, obviously it's not relevant for me. I got rid of them. You know, I'm totally free from women. Whatever way you look at it, or want to look at it. So that's another sort of story, really, I suppose. But I mean, I have had my experiences with it, and obviously I was quite foolish, and well, not exactly foolish, but just ignorant, I suppose, for want of a better word, about how to deal with them. So I got it wrong quite a bit, and that's why I'm divorced. But there's that thing, there's men who, I remember Stuart, when I met Stuart years ago down in the Borders, and his wife was all over me. But another thing that what she did was what a lot of them do. They do that thing where they're all over you, and then it's not consistent, then they drop you when something else comes along. But never mind. So he was alright, and I asked him, what do you do about all these issues that she's got? He goes, I just ignore her. And that's like a fundamental. So she's like moaning about this, that and other, all these things that are wrong, or she thinks are wrong. I says, what do you do about these problems that are coming? He says, I just ignore her. So that's what he does. Just ignore her. So I think we're probably supposed to go in this lane. I don't really like going in that lane. I'd rather cut over from here. So we make sure to indicate so we can still go in the outside lane and then we'll take this truck. scythes. So the other thing, obviously, is our pal Craig. I've been thinking about him a bit as well. I don't think he's... I was actually thinking he's not actually narcissistic as such. I think he's just ignorant, is what I've been... He's ignorant and he's got a following. So he's got a following by ignorant people. And he's able to... Some things he just... So he's venturing into things... Well, women do that, actually. I don't know what sort of a man he is, like Craig. You know, it's like... I would say not much of a man, I would think. But I don't really know. So he's like... The thing he did about... The video he did, and I'll need to check... I'm going to maybe get some time, I'll do a video on him. Like that's... Well, he does videos on other people, so I'll do one on him. And it's Tesla going... I'm doing 70 miles per hour. Look at that fucking thing. That is a disaster. I should never... Well, they've turned round on it now, haven't they? With the budget. That is... So it's got its battery, and you're driving at speeds like that. It's supposed to, you know, save the planet. It's bullshit. And he's flying along at 90 or 100 there. You know, totally inappropriate. Yeah, I think Craig's more ignorant than narcissistic. Just dumb. Like, saying things that are just dumb. Like the bit he did on the High Court judge, retired High Court judge, the only trans judge in Britain, in Great Britain. You know, it's okay. So you can, I mean, you can critique the police and things, and then, you know, you can, to actually personally attack a High Court judge who's retired, and he'll think it's okay. Well, I don't know, can you do that? Is that okay to do that? I just, I'm sorry, I don't think it is. But, and then, so he's talking about, so the one video, she's got makeup and everything, she looks like a woman, but then it's like, the thing is, what is the definition of a woman? It's, you know, I don't think Craig's actually really had a look at all these different, I don't think he's listened to Jordan Peterson for a start. So, makeup, pretty much essentially it's for sex, to make yourself sexually attractive, and that's why women wear makeup. And so if that's not why they wear makeup, why do they wear makeup? You know, so the judge wearing makeup is making herself sexually attractive. The fact that she was born biologically male means that she's changed to female, and that. So I don't think he really gets that. And it's like, you can do that, and you've been able to do that in this country for legally for over 20 years. And so he had a video of her when she wasn't wearing makeup. And I still, maybe I'm missing something. I don't really get what he was saying. So I think he was saying she's not a woman. I think is what the video was about. But so this is the issue for him, is that the law or the legal system is saying that she is a woman, or she's female certainly, because that's where the High Court ruling confuses matters. But it's like, for somebody like Craig, they're putting it out like it's some massive win, and it's not. It's just a ruling that contradicts the government. So the government says you can change from male to female or female to male. You can do that, right? That's what they're saying, and it's legal, it's in the law, right? You can actually do it. I've done it, right? So it's a legal process. So that's what she's done. So now he's coming along, because this High Court ruling says that a female is a woman is a biological female. because it's saying that, then that's kind of put the cat amongst the pigeons, but it doesn't. And J.K. Rowling paid these women to take the Scottish Government to court. She paid the court fees. It was something like £70,000. So that means that J.K. Rowling has affected. If I've got some arsehole like Craig Houston telling me I can't use female toilets, her £70,000 has affected my right to have a decent life, because she can afford a spare £70,000 to take government to court. I can't do that. Well, I could, but that'd be me fucking really fucked, right? J.K. Rowling wouldn't have to remortgage her house, and so £70,000 to most people is quite a lot, so it's anti-democratic, and then it's a moot point anyway. So he starts off going on about toilets, Craig does, right? So it's not, toilets are not a safe space. So the whole video that he did, or his argument, is completely baseless. And is that truck going over to the other? Who knows? It's all completely baseless. Just to push his narrow little narrative, this ignorant man. That's what he is, I think. And I do understand projection and around. Does that mean that I'm ignorant? Well, maybe in some ways, yeah, but it's. So he's just pushing that, and the frightening thing is he's very popular. So there's a lot of ignorant people are watching his videos and agreeing with him, and they're all low resolution comments. So my intelligent comments, he deletes them, but that's fine. So I've moved on from that. I've realised he's deleting them. So the best thing to do is just sit down and wait until he gets arrested again. Because I think that's what's coming with him, yeah, definitely. Because I don't think he's got the intelligence to realise, or what's the line that he's crossing, and slagging off a High Court judge. Well, actually discriminating against another human being is one thing, but discriminating against a High Court judge, a retired judge is still a judge, if you get what I'm saying. A retired judge is a judge, so he must be stupid, yeah. And so he's sort of become this politician or whatever, and he's still using kind of, I don't know, snidey little techniques with his little pals in the Rangers club. I think he's going to have to, he should really be stepping his game up, I think. And instead he's just pushing more and more of that ignorant nonsense. Does that mean he's going to become a successful politician? Well, no, I don't think so, because he's already breaking the actual laws. Because if you disagree with laws, like at the moment well, the sign says 50, I could do 70 here. It should be 70, but it's not, because it changed it to 50. So I should really be doing 70, but I kind of have to conform, really, to a certain extent, and the analogies with that are quite. There's things we don't agree with, and there's lots of things. But the other big, massive problem for him is, and people like him, J.K. Rowling, all these lot, is they want to remove the trans. They're focusing on that tiny amount of that trans thing, and they're wanting to remove all that, repeal all that, and they don't get it that you can't do that without repealing everything. All the other changes and rights, and there's countless. I can't even say what they are because there's so many of them. There's rights that women have gained, and disabled people, and men. Well, men seem to be getting the worst of it. They seem to be oppressed the most. But you'd have to sort of go back So all they want to do is oppress to end rights for for a tiny minority. I mean, how fucking ridiculous are they? That they look at that. Yeah. Yeah, it's coming on. So we'll get in here. So that's me rabbiting on about that again, but yeah. But it's relevant. It is relevant, yeah. Very relevant. It's very relevant, you know. Right, thanks for watching. Bye. Please like, share and subscribe.